properly made. Meanwhile, Youth in Action for Disability Inclusion Director Ian Banda has called on the government to prioritize the health of children living with disabilities.
A commotion erupted Monday morning at Lusaka's Kanyama Level 1 hospital as mothers with disabled children were allegedly denied access to physiotherapy services at the facility. It is alleged that this directive came from the Ministry of Health, which instructed the patients to be moved to another facility within the hospital. However, the affected mothers have expressed deep concern over the inconvenience that the decision has caused for their children who are in urgent need of medical attention. One of the distressed mothers spoken to, Monica Kamulo, whose child has breathing complications, shared her frustrations during an interview with Camnet News. She claimed the new facility has inadequate space and lacks proper ventilation provisions, adding that it is an inconvenience for a child who requires immediate medical care.
Mwana haina disability. Ineni kuna complain padi ya physio. Testabu ya romande kuposta physio bana. Tapeza kurumu kwetenze wenda stira physio. Kwenze kwa bwino. But chosa kwa tika kurumu inangu. Iye mesi reserve. Lumu yako bati mwana anga ina sound ama pema sound. Kunuka ma chemicals ya bio pema for a long time sanga kwanisi. So ineni pempa ko cha bendis bana mema kutipendeza ba physio. Banamba nkudala ini 4 times kutipendeza kungo chinja tipeleka kwa tipeleka huko. So tifuna isa batitandizileko yabana bati mphysio ndemwe timapezera tandizo.
Nancy Piri, another affected mother, echoed the sentiment, pointing out that the new facility contains chemicals that are not sustainable for individuals with conditions like a child's.
Kuri wana watu swati fakira konzero kozi kuri ma building enzi ya first bana ticho saa kwa ndino batipeka ku number 2 futi na kwa baticho saa ku number 3 baticho saa ku so baticho saa emergency batipeka ku room kwa mini ma chemicals. So according kuri wana watu ni nakupema ni problem. So pesikati kuti tinkana tip okay in short tibe permanent press up bana watongazi wachitira ko physio. So tipempa kuti batipase ko at least permanent press up ngazi wachitira ko physio kozi.
So I'm appealing to the Ministry of Health, the hospital in Kulumaningi, kuti batisakira kwa malo sinkaleko na permanent place. Madam Masebo, our Minister of Health, please kambani koni na bantu paka nyama klinika bakulu batisakira kwa place ikulu ya kusitira kwa physio nice.
In response to the situation, Ian Banda, the Director of Youth in Action for Disability Inclusion, has called on the government to prioritize the health of children living with disabilities.
It is our call to the Minister of Health to take this measure seriously in ensuring that the issues of physio for children with disabilities is provided adequately, because we feel we are affected that our children with disabilities are not, their rights are not protected.
In an attempt to prevent exposure, hospital management called police, who locked in journalists from various media houses and hospital and forcefully attempted to delete their footage but were unsuccessful. Meanwhile, efforts to get a comment from the Ministry of Health spokesperson proved futile by broadcast time as calls went unanswered. Camnet TV will, however, continue to follow this developing story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
Some welders in Lusaka's Kalingalinga township are demanding that Zesco Limited explain why the area is being load-shedded outside the set schedule. The aggrieved welders who operate along Alikinkata Road have told Camnet TV News that they have experienced 18-hour power cuts for the past 3 days, with electricity being cut off at midnight and only restored at 5 p.m. contrary to the promised 8-hour schedule. Shingirai Dakira, a welder, says the situation is negatively impacting their businesses as clients cannot afford to wait for days to complete their projects.
Welders in Lusaka's Kalingalinga township along Ali Kinkata Road have for the past 3 days been load-shedded for 18 hours straight instead of the normal 8 hours per day. Speaking to Camnet News, the welders say the power utility company Zesco must explain the situation as it is outside the planned load-shedding hours. Shingirai Dakira, a welder, tells this journalist that the 8 hours of load shedding has already crippled the business. Therefore, the 18 hours power outage has completely halted business in the area.
We are having right now is the challenge. We are not yet having power in the time that we were supposed to have power. So if we are given a good timetable for now, it will help us rather than the timetable that we are going through today. Power used to go around 24 hours and it used to come around 8:30. So now it goes 24 hours, it comes 17:30. It means we are holding other people's weight here. We are not able to wait. If a client comes, he gives him the option to say, no, we don't have power, then him will think maybe we are not serious with the wait.
Another welder had this to say.
So our concern is against the load shedding. Zesco gave us a schedule that power is going to be cutting at 23 hours and coming back at 08 hours. But for the past 3 days, we haven't been having power from 24 hours to 15 hours or 18 hours or 20 hours. Yes, so our complaint that they give us power, they do what they promised us, because the schedule says power is going to be cutting for 8 hours, but it's been cutting for 24 hours for the past 3 days. That's our issue. And
a tire mender has also lamented on how the power outage has affected his business, saying that he has since stopped using his tire mending machinery that needs electricity.
That's an update according to what they said, what they updated us on. So as far as my work is concerned, I'm here whereby I put on pressure in 2 tires. So you see, we have a challenge. So as far as I haven't even put my pressure outside my compressor. So I have a challenge. We are down.
Meanwhile, Zesco spokesperson Matongo Maumbi says the utility company is investigating the matter and will soon give an update of their findings. Cherish Sivote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
A 17-year-old boy of Shibuyunji district has been arrested for allegedly defiling his 6-year-old grade 2 schoolmate. The juvenile suspect, who is in grade 8, allegedly led the 6-year-old victim to a nearby bush a few meters from the school where he allegedly had carnal knowledge with her. Police spokesperson Danny Mwale says the juvenile suspect was apprehended by a passerby after being caught red-handed in the act.
A 17-year-old boy of Shibuyunji district has been arrested for defiling a 6-year-old girl. The boy and the girl go to the same school within Shibuyunji district. The boy is in grade 8 while the child is in grade 2. Victim support unit officers who are investigating the matter revealed that on March 20, 2024, at a known time but during school break time, the suspect found the girl playing alone outside one of the classrooms and told her to follow him. He led her to the nearby bush where he was found having carnal knowledge of her by a passerby who apprehended him and reported the incident to the school authorities. The victim and the suspect were handed over to police where both guardians appeared. Medical report form was issued to the victim's parents to help her seek medical attention while the suspect was released pending further action.
Outspoken Kanyama-based United Party for National Development member HACHOOMBWA has allegedly been attacked by suspected UPND cadres, leaving him with a cut in the head. The incident happened on Sunday within the constituency during the ongoing Ward Development Committee campaigns. Speaking after reporting the incident at Kyama Police Station Monday afternoon, Mr. HACHOOMBWA claimed cadres belonging to the area Member of Parliament, Monty Chinkuli, attacked him, led by a named outgoing WDC chairperson. He says he chose not to retaliate in line with the directive by President Hakainde Hichilema, who has prohibited acts of political cadre violence. Mr. HACHOOMBWA has since given the police in the area before 17 hours Monday in which to have the suspects arrested, or will be back at the station until the culprits are brought to book. But when reached for a comment, Kyama Member of Parliament, Monty Chinkuli, expressed ignorance over Mr. HACHOOMBWA's accusations, further describing the said attacks unfortunate. Mr. Chinkuli says he wants peace to prevail in the constituency and expressed relief that the matter had been reported to police, who are the custodians of the law.
The working of the area Member of Parliament in Kyama, Mr. Monty Chinkuli. Look at his eyes, he was brutally beaten, and we couldn't learn away ourselves. We said, no, we can't allow our people to die. And we tried to negotiate with them, but they stood on their ground. Now, the funny thing was, amongst them, there was one who was taking a video. I'm sure it was a paid up advert to show that okay, the work was done. But we want to call upon our brothers. We have got so many challenges in Kyama, colleagues from the media, that must be addressed. Kyama is a hub of cholera. Every year, as I'm talking to you, in September, we are expected to record cholera again here. Instead of beating Wene, they could have arrested cholera here. Instead of beating him, they could have given grants to the people. So it's not necessary to be fighting amongst ourselves. We are all UPND. You may be aware that I'm a member of the presidential campaign team. So when I go to the church, I'm going to discuss the policies of the new Dawn government.
But since then, I tried to find out from my office, there is no formal complaint that has been brought to my attention. So I'm just hearing it, just like I'm hearing it from yourself. But whatever happened is very, very unfortunate. Like Kyama, we want to have peace. No attacks, no what. It's on that right now we are doing at Parliament, and tomorrow from 9 hours to 12 hours until I'll find out. I'll find out exactly what transpired, and it's good that at least the matter has been brought to police, because those are the custodians of such issues.
Meanwhile, opposition Citizen First Party spokesperson Frank Sichone has condemned the alleged brutality perpetuated within the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND. Mr. Sichone charges an attack on Kyama-based UPND member Vene HACHOOMBWA by his own party members brings a lot of fear in ordinary citizens. Mr. Sichone says if not managed well or culprits brought to book, this may escalate to levels that will not be managed.
If their own members are attacking them, what about us who are ordinary citizens? What about every citizen who does not even actually belong to the UPND? What happens to the citizens? We have always said time and again that the UPND is the most violent political party this country has ever seen. But people don't want to believe us. But now you are able to prove and see that they can fight themselves within themselves, which is very unfortunate. And we are calling upon the Inspector General of Police to take keen interest in helping out the UPND, which is a ruling party, to bring sanity in that political party, so that the people of Zambia can have confidence in their security or their security. And if the ruling party is so violent like it is right now, it actually chases the investors. You can't have investor confidence with people who are so violent. And the police should not even spend or waste their time on us, the opposition. We are so peaceful. The ones who are a big problem, who are so violent, are the UPND. And if they can fight their own leaders within their own political party, it's very, very unfortunate. And it brings fear in every citizen, especially ordinary citizen. How will they defend themselves? Because the political party that is ruling us is able to produce such people. And we are calling upon also the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Ichirema. He swore to defend the Constitution. He needs to defend the Constitution. He needs to defend the citizens of Zambia. He needs to defend the property, and he needs to bring sanity in his political party.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, has urged engineers to collaborate with the government in exploring nature-based solutions to boost disaster preparedness and response amidst the global challenges of climate change. Speaking when he officiated at the 2024 Engineering Institute of Zambia EIZ Southern Region Annual General Meeting in Siavonga District, held at Save Beach Resort, Mr. Nkombo underscored the importance of engineers taking decisive action to mitigate climate change effects. He highlighted the necessity for engineers to adopt practical approaches in designing infrastructure capable of withstanding extreme weather conditions like floods. And speaking at the same event, EIZ President, Engineer Abe Ongandu, reiterated the Institute commitment to supporting the government in implementing forward-thinking strategies that foster meaningful development.
Every rainy season, parts of the country experience floods, leading to the collapsing of infrastructure. For years, this has been attributed to poor planning of residential areas and lack of good infrastructure in the country. It is for this reason the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, has challenged engineers to partner with government in exploring more nature-based solutions aimed at enhancing disaster preparedness and response in the face of climate change. Speaking at the Engineering Institute of Zambia EIZ Southern Region Annual General Meeting in Siavonga District, the minister says it is displeasing that each rainy season some parts of the country experience the effects of weak infrastructure, bridges being washed away or buildings collapsing, a situation that demonstrates a gap in the professional application of engineering. Mr. Nkombo says there is a critical need for engineers to be more practical because their innovations will not only enhance the livelihoods in urban and rural areas, but also create a foundation for economic prosperity and social well-being, as engineering forms the backbone of infrastructure development both in urban and rural setups, as it provides vital infrastructure for sustainable housing, efficient mobility, and public safety.
Partnering with the ministry that I'm privileged to run to conduct the urban renewal process in the capital city of Lusaka as we move on to other towns of Zambia. The exercise of urban renewal is really a function of how those who were there before us decided to ignore the very things that we must cherish in our lives. So we have to spend money to resettle people. We have to spend money to create what should have been created before human settlement set in, drainages, roads, and that should be the thing of the past. When we took office, and before I answered, I actually asked a question. I said, I hope in your engineering curriculum, you also have a portion for planning, spatial planning, physical planning. So much so that if I want a project to be done and I say, Engineer Ebo Ngandu, I want you to build this house, you should be able to say, but this particular place where you want to put this does not have council planning permission.
Meanwhile, Engineering Institute of Zambia EIZ President Engineer Abe Ngandu says the institute is committed to supporting government on progressive strategies that will further promote meaningful development in Zambia.
We also aligned our strategic plan with the 8th National Development Plan to support government's goals in infrastructure development and economic transformation. The document sets an ambition for the future of the institution and illustrates goals and principles that will guide EIZ from 2023 to 2026. We have been more present in the media, responding to queries, selling the mandate, giving technical guidance, and encouraging compliance of engineering professionals.
Cherish Siwote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Journalists have been urged to take an active role in the fight against corruption through their work. AntiCorruption Commission ACC Director General Trevor Shamakamba says the fight against corruption should not be left to the Commission alone. Mr. Shamakamba explains that there is need for the media to take keen interest in reporting cases of corruption, as the scourge negatively affects all citizens and hinders national social and economic development. He was speaking in his opening remarks during the Northern Province 3 days community media workshop. Meanwhile, Provincial Information Officer Euphrasia Banda notes that journalists are not able to investigate and report on issues of corruption due to factors such as intimidation from authorities and inadequate resources.
The Anti-Corruption Commission ACC has called on journalists in Northern Province to take an active role in the fight against graft. Speaking during the opening of a 3 days community media workshop, ACC Director General Tom Shamakamba said the fight against corruption should be everyone's concern, especially the media, given its far-reaching consequences on society.
So as long as we sit idle and just say, okay, it's fine, we will not move this country forward. So you people who have the power of the pen, the power of information, and the power of your brains, help us fight this cage.
Mr. Shamakamba has urged the media not to relent in exposing acts of corruption, regardless of those involved.
To reduce it. Don't fear anyone. Yes, corruption is risky business. But if you have the courage, if you have the will, we can fight together. So I've come here with my team to encourage you that be fearless, whether it is the provincial minister, it is the PS, it is the district commissioner, it is anybody in any government ministry, please, we encourage you to report.
Meanwhile, in welcoming the convening of the workshop, Northern Province Information Officer Euphrasia Banda notes a number of hindrances prevent journalists to report and investigate corruption stories.
More especially the government, the public media houses. These public media houses, they have information of corruption because they are always with the ministers, with the PSCs, with all those people in power. They have the information at hand, but it's very difficult to deliver as expected. So I hope this workshop...
The Anti-Corruption Commission is conducting a 3-day media workshop in Kasama, starting Monday to Wednesday, with the aim of enhancing reporting on corruption. For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula.
Now, Zambia has reached a conclusive agreement with the external board holder steering committee over the restructuring of the $3.5 billion United States Eurobond. In a statement, the committee says the 2024 agreement will restructure $750 million United States due in 2022, $1 billion United States due in 2024, and $1.25 billion United States among 1,000 notes due in 2027, collectively known as the Eurobond. The agreement follows the government's confirmation that the terms of the 2024 agreement are compatible with Zambia's official creditor committee OCC assessment of comparability of treatment, and the IMF's program parameters under the second review framework. The external board holder steering committee says the agreement will support the restoration of Zambia's macroeconomic and debt sustainability in the context of the IMF-financed program. It adds that the prompt implementation of a debt restructuring agreement with board holders is not only in Zambia's interests, but the wider creditor community as a whole. The committee discloses that the implementation of the 2024 agreement is conditional on mutual agreement on due documentation, and the objective is to fully implement the agreement as promptly as feasible. The committee has since encouraged all holders of the Eurobonds to carefully consider the terms of the government's prospective offer in relation to the 2024 agreement and to make their own independent appraisal of the merits and risks of participation. The reaching of the agreement with the external board holder steering committee over the unstructured $3.5 billion United States Eurobond is significant in Zambia's prolonged debt restructuring conclusion process. On that interesting note, we now take our first set of commercials. I will be back with more news after the break.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UPBEAT Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UPBEAT Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UPBEAT Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UPBEAT Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Sitizalema kukuya mekani chifukwatizi watandizo latu.
Are you perplexed about how to overcome the financial, psychological and mental health challenges around you? Well, worry no more, because help is here. The Healing Word Ministries International, in conjunction with Camnet TV, cordially invites the general public to a one-day seminar on mental health challenges and mental wellness solutions for individuals, families, the church and society. Speakers include Dr. William Perry, President, Mental Health Association of Zambia; Dr. George Tafuna, psychotherapist, Chainame National Mental Health Hospital; Mr. Friday Salamo, Senior Mental Health Officer, the Ministry of Health; Professor Michael Munkumba, Executive Mentor and Life Coach, Mihachi Group; Bishop Peter Tanda Molenga, Presiding Bishop, Christian Word Center International; Pastor Lizzie Dakambozi, President, Aglo International; and Dr. Evans Perry from the Spirit of Faith Ministries. The venue is at the Healing Word Ministries International Church in Ibex Hill, Lusaka, on the 6th of April 2024 from 0830 hours to 17 hours at only 250 kwacha all round, food inclusive. You can get your tickets from Camnet office in Ibex Hill between 08 hours and 17 hours, or you can buy via mobile money on 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. For more details, you can call 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. Don't miss. See you there.
On Monday, 25th March 2024, on National Matters, join Bishop Peter Tandamlenga, presiding Bishop, Christian Wade Center International.
We've seen people, promise to get married and they, just before the wedding, and somebody, says no, and the wedding is postponed. There's so many things that can cause people to be depressed. And we have seen a little, maybe just last year and 2 years back, we've seen a lot of suicide take place in Zambia. And what is surprising is that sometimes it's youngsters that are taking their lives away. They're at the age of 35, 25, 18. What sort of problems do they have which parents do not have? Doctors, just help us to, what's your experience since you deal it on a daily basis?
With a guest, Dr. William Pili, President, Mental Health Association of Zambia, Professor Michael Munkumba, Executive Mentor and Life Coach, Mihachi Group, as they discuss mental health wellness in Zambia. Fact or myth? Watch and subscribe to Camnet Television Network on DSTV Channel 274, GoTV Channel 25, Topstar Channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages.
Camnet Television, your #1 community station in Zambia. This is your channel of choice. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We now continue with more news. Socialist Party SP President Fred Membe has signed in the book of condolences at the Russian embassy in Lusaka. On March 22nd, suspected terrorist attackers stormed the Crocus City Wall in Krasnogorsk and began firing on about 6,000 attendees, leaving about 137 killed with more than 100 injured. Speaking after signing in the book of condolences, Dr. Membe said terrorism has never triumphed anywhere in the world, stating that the truth will eventually come out. Russian ambassador to Zambia, Azim Yarakshmendov, said investigations are still ongoing to ascertain the masterminds of the attacks, despite strong reports from Western media suggesting Islamic State, which the state has few reasons to believe.
Russia, a nation in mourning following the fatal Friday shooting, which is known to have killed 137 people, 4 gunmen on Friday night stormed the Crocus City Hall in Krasnogorsk, northern Moscow suburbs, and opened fire at about 600,000 attendees at the rock concert. The 4 have since appeared in court Monday and slapped with terrorism charges. In Zambia, the Russian embassy is visibly in a somber mood, with outpouring messages of condolences from different stakeholders. Socialist Party opposition leader Fred Membe, Monday afternoon, took time to sign the book of condolences at the embassy. And in his words of comfort to the Russian ambassador to Zambia, Azim Yarakmedov, Dr. Membe says he believes in the resolve and unity of the Russian people, stating that the tragedy would not break their spirit.
The unity of the various political forces in Russia
is something that you don't find in many parts of the world. Despite their political differences, their different political affiliations, the unity in Russia that exists today is very high.
Несмотря на наличие в России многих политических сил, единство их единство на высоком уровне.
And with that unity, the Russian people will never be defeated.
Dr. Membe emphasizes that terrorism has never triumphed anywhere in the world and assured the Russian Federation that the truth will eventually come out.
Anyway, eventually the truth will be known. Yes. The truth will definitely come out. Yes. Whatever problems are in the world today, they cannot be solved or resolved in this way. Terrorist actions have never triumphed anywhere in the world.
Russian ambassador to Zambia, Mr. Yank Medov, says the Federation is yet to get to the bottom of the matter, disclosing that the country remains united following elections of that country.
Впервые в истории президент России выиграл выборы, получил 87%.
It's the first in history when the president of Russia won the elections getting more than 80%.
Это большой показатель единства российского народа.
Symbol of unity of the Russian people.
Ну, кому-то не нравится.
But someone doesn't like it.
Вот этот праздник кто-то решил омрачить.
And this celebration, someone decided to spoil.
Several world leaders have condemned the March 22nd Caucus City Hall shooting, stating that such acts of terror have no room in the modern civilized world. Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Kamakokwa Primary School has been facing numerous challenges, particularly in terms of infrastructure, desks and access to water. Western Province Minister Kapelwa Bangweta officially presented the completed classroom blocks to Kamakokwa Primary School. The new classrooms are fully equipped with desks, providing an improved learning environment for the students. During his speech, Mr. Bangweta emphasized the government's commitment to delivering essential development projects to benefit the learners.
Primary school in Kyama district is one of the schools that faced with the lack of infrastructure and desks, and with the increase of the constituency development fund to 30.6 million has seen more projects being implemented in Kyama district of Western Province. Kyama Town Council has handed over the new reconstructed of 1x3 classroom block at Kamakokwa Primary School using Constituency Development Fund for 2023. Western Province Minister Bangweta says the handing over of the new reconstructed classroom block signifies government's commitment towards its campaign promises.
We get very happy when we come to this particular area because this area illustrates the successes of our party, the UPND. Our president, when we were in opposition and indeed when we took power, used to say we must build ablution blocks with flushing toilets. He has also said we must provide water. And finally, today we are handing over that classroom block to the council management. We want to say we are glad that now we seem to be on a good trajectory. The communities here, what they want are results and safe delivery and not stories. We want to encourage you and say we want contractors like this one contractor here who has done that job in 3 months.
Dr. Moses Mutioka is Kyama Town Council Secretary.
I want to report to you that this project is a landmark project because it is the first project to be handed over under the 2023 CDF funding. And it's important, Minister, to put it on record that this project has been completed in 3 months' time. And this project has costed us a total of 750,000 kwacha, combining the infrastructure and 75 desks that has been furnished.
a government policy minister, we cannot hand over an empty classroom. We have to make sure that the classroom is actually equipped or dressed, and then it becomes usable. And this is what we have demonstrated at this school.
Others who spoke are Kyama Council Chairperson Rayford Kitoti and Kyama District Board Secretary Akayupwa Musialike, who appreciated the gesture.
On behalf of the people of Kyama, Kamakokwa in particular, as the people of Kamakokwa and Kyama at large, there's nothing that we can give him to compensate him for his vision.
So, to our learners, I would dearly urge you to use this facility and guard it against damage.
Kyama Town Council has continuously handing over of completed classroom blocks at several schools following government directives. Moseo Kabira, Camnet News in Kyama District, Western Province.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has received the fourth consignment of 7,050 health center kits, HCK, bringing the cumulative total of kits received since August 2023 to 28,200. ZAMSA Senior Manager in charge of corporate communications, Bradley Chingobe, says following consistent supply and effective distribution of health center kits, the country has seen the availability of essential medicines and medical supplies, EMMS, increase to about 75 in primary healthcare facilities, beating the World Health Organization, WHO, drug availability standard of 70%. Mr. Chingobe adds that appropriate distribution of the kits will commence as soon as the certificate of analysis clearance is granted by the Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority, ZAMRA.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has received the fourth consignment of 7,050 health center kits, which gives us a cumulative total of 28,200 kits that have been received since August 2023. This fourth batch of health center kits is the second consignment that we have received in the last 2 months, and it is important to note that we have received the last consignment on the 2nd of January 2024 from Mission Pharma of Denmark. As a result of this consistent supply and effective distribution of these health center kits, the country has seen the availability of essential medicines and medical supplies at primary healthcare facilities increase to availability levels of above 75%. This is within the WHO, World Health Organization, drug availability standard, which is recommended at 70%. Notably, ZAMSA services more than 3,400 healthcare facilities across the country, and we, as usual, will ensure that all these receive these health center kits in a timely manner. The appropriate distribution of the kits will commence as soon as certificate of analysis clearance is granted by Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority, ZAMRA, and this will ensure that we are kept abreast with the established pharmacovigilance practices at ZAMSA. ZAMSA remains committed to continue procuring, storing, and distributing medicines and medical supplies for a healthy and productive Zambia.
The Lusaka City Council, LCC, in collaboration with the state police, have apprehended 50 individuals for raucous behavior directed at council police officers in the Central Business District, CBD. LCC Assistant Public Relations Manager Nyambe Bulumba says the incident occurred along Katondo Street during the enforcement of the prohibition of street vending as mandated by Statutory Instrument number 12 of 2018. Mr. Bulumba says it is regrettable that the operation by council police officers was met with violent resistance, with vendors throwing stones at unarmed officers. The suspects, whose various merchandise have been confiscated, are currently detained and will soon be presented before a competent court. And the seized items include highly intoxicating beer, locally known as kachasu, braziers, and assorted drinks, among other things.
The Lusaka City Council has arrested 50 individuals for street vending and riotous behavior directed at council police officers in the central business district. You may wish to know that on 23rd March, on Saturday, council police were in the central business district to enforce the prohibition of street vending, but unfortunately, street vendors had to start throwing stones against council police officers, a situation that we condemn because it derails the provision of quality services to members of the public. So this morning, the council police, in conjunction with state police, moved into policy street vending activities across the central business district. And in the process, we managed to apprehend 50 of the suspected rioters and some of the street vendors to ensure that we curb the activity. The suspects, whose various merchandise have been confiscated, are currently detained and will soon be presented before a competent court.
Kitwe residents have commended President Hakainde Hichilema and his administration for the investments that Mopani Copper Mines has received. The residents have explained that the reinvestment will boost economic activities in the province, which will in turn improve the lives of the citizens. On March 21st, 2024, President Hichilema officiated at the handover of the mine to International Resources Holdings, which has invested $1.1 billion United States dollars in the mine.
The Mopani Copper Mines in Kitwe has been resurrected. This follows the official handover of the mine by President Hakainde Hichilema to the new equity partner International Resources Holdings, which has so far injected $1.1 billion into the mine. This development has cheered the people of Copperbelt, especially those in Kitwe, where the mine is situated.
As Kitwe residents, we really suffered. We actually witnessed that setback of Mopani, and a lot of things were affected. To start with, I can talk about the business. The business also went down. Now that the president has shown this good gesture, I'm pretty sure that a lot of youths will be employed.
Very bad. We are staggering. No food, no anything. But this time the president has opened the mine. At least we have a hope. Things will be fine now.
The hope for the residents of Kitwe, because these mines, namely KCM and Mopani, they kind of hold of towns like Mufulira, Kitwe, Chingola and Chilabombo. So with the mines that went down, I think people really suffered. And I'm told that they've paid quite a number of contractors, and they've also employed some those that were casuals. They've put them on a permanent basis, which is a good move. I think the government is heading in the right direction now.
During the handover ceremony, President Hichilema committed to unlocking all mines which are non-operational so that they can begin to contribute to the country's economic developmental agenda.
What we're witnessing today is a consequence of hard work. The relaunch of Mopani Copper Mine with our new joint venture partners, working together. Kubombela Chapamo, Chachina, International Resource Holdings, IRH, from Abu Dhabi. This is a significant moment that citizens raise questions about, and rightly so. Mayor of the city of Kitwe, you said you were struggling to look after the council and the local community of Kitwe for 2 years. No, you were struggling for the last 7 years. You're struggling for the last 7 years, not 2 years. Ewe mkwai. Ichi chintu cha Mopani chali onaika kale. Before we form the government ourselves, we must get our facts right.
The Abu Dhabi mining giant is partnering with the Zambian government through ZCCMIH in the management of Mopani, with the Zambian government retaining 49% shareholding, while IRH will hold 51% shares in the mine. This partnership is expected to see an increase in copper production from 65,000 metric tons to 225,000 metric tons, contributing to the government's projected 3 million metric tons production by 2030. Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis in Kitwe, Copperbelt province.
We now take our last break to join me with some international stories as well as sports news. Stay tuned.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Are you perplexed about how to overcome the financial, psychological and mental health challenges around you? Well, worry no more, because help is here. The Healing Word Ministries International, in conjunction with Camnet TV, cordially invites the general public to a one-day seminar on mental health challenges and mental wellness solutions for individuals, families, the church and society. Speakers include Dr. William Perry, President, Mental Health Association of Zambia; Dr. George Tafuna, psychotherapist, Chainame National Mental Health Hospital; Mr. Friday Salamo, Senior Mental Health Officer, the Ministry of Health; Professor Michael Munkumba, Executive Mentor and Life Coach, Mihachi Group; Bishop Peter Tanda Molenga, Presiding Bishop, Christian Word Center International; Pastor Lizzie Dakambuzi, President, Aglo International; and Dr. Evans Perry from the Spirit of Faith Ministries. The venue is at the Healing Word Ministries International Church in Ibex Hill, Lusaka, on the 6th of April 2024 from 0830 hours to 17 hours at only 250 kwacha all round, food inclusive. You can get your tickets from Camnet office in Ibex Hill between 08 hours and 17 hours, or you can buy via mobile money on 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. For more details, you can call 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. Don't miss. See you there.
kulandiswe kulatuwabilila tobana bagwe tagatulegeleli.
On Monday, 25th March 2024, on National Matters, join Bishop Peter Tandamlenga, presiding Bishop, Christian Wade Center International.
We've seen people, promise to get married, and they, just before the wedding, and somebody, says no, and the wedding is postponed. There's so many things that can cause people to be depressed, and we have seen a little, maybe just last year and 2 years back, we've seen a lot of suicide take place in Zambia. And what is surprising is that sometimes it's youngsters that are taking their lives away. They're at the age of 35, 25, 18. What sort of problems do they have which parents do not have? Doctors, just help us to, what's your experience since you deal it on a daily basis?
With the guests, Dr. William Pili, President, Mental Health Association of Zambia, Professor Michael Munkumba, Executive Mentor and Life Coach, Mihachi Group, as they discuss mental health wellness in Zambia, fact or myth. Watch and subscribe to Camnet Television Network on DSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 25, Topstar channel 106.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
Camnet Television, your #1 community station in Zambia. This is your channel of choice. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
And now, with the rest of the news. In international news, Malawi urgently needs more than $200 million in humanitarian assistance, the president said, as he declared a state of disaster in most of the country's provinces over drought. Malawi has declared a state of disaster in 23 out of the country's 28 districts. President Lazarus Chakwera announced on Saturday, March 23rd, that 2 million farming households have been affected by the El Nino-induced dry spells and need food. The announcement by President Chakwera coincided with food distribution exercise in NIÑO district, southern Malawi, by World Food Program together with the Department of Disaster Management Affairs. Here's a roundup of international news.
Malawi has declared a state of disaster in 23 out of the country's 28 districts. President Lazarus Chakwera announced on Saturday that 2 million farming households have been affected by the El Nino-induced dry spells and need food. In NIÑO, southern Malawi, many line up to receive aid. I have a big farmland measuring more than 1.5 acres. Together with the children I stay with, we farm on this land. With good rains, I harvest 20 to 50 kilogram bags of maize. This year, to be honest, I have harvested nothing. We planted in November, and the maize germinated because we had rains. In December, we had fewer rains. There was too much sun that scorched the whole field and crops. The presidential announcement coincided with a food distribution exercise by the WFP and the Department of Disaster Management Affairs. This official anticipates more humanitarian assistance.
The food that we have seen we are distributing today is for the season that we are in. But there is an additional type of hunger that we are facing because of the dry spell that we have experienced. For NIÑO, it has been hit hard. So the president's declaration means other people are going to come in now, lifting up the hand of government where it wasn't necessarily able to do it. People are going to come because of that declaration.
The presidential initiative to stop hunger calls out to Malawians and the international community. Around 600,000 metric tons of food aid are needed. Neighboring Zambia declared a national disaster of a drought in late February.
Authorities in Chad have cleared 10 candidates for this year's long-awaited presidential election, barring two fierce opponents of the military government from standing. Chad's Constitutional Council announced on Sunday that outspoken opposition figures Nasur Ibrahim Negi Kusami and Rakis Hamad Saleh would be barred. It said their applications had been rejected because they included irregularities. The council, however, said that the nominations of interim President Mahama Idris Deby and the country's recently appointed Prime Minister Success Masra had been accepted. It is the first time in Chad's history that a president and a prime minister will face each other in a presidential poll whose first round of voting will take place on May 6. A second round of polls will take place on June 22, with provisional results scheduled for July 7. The elections are part of a transition back to democracy from rule by Chad's military government, which is one of several currently in power in West and Central Africa.
Two of four suspects charged with carrying out the deadly concert hall attack in Moscow on March 22nd admitted guilt in court. On Sunday, Moscow's Basmany District Court formally charged the four men, all of whom are citizens of Tajikistan, with committing a group terrorist attack resulting in the death of others. The offense carries a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. The attack, which was claimed by an affiliate of the Islamic State group, killed at least 137 people, injuring over 180 others. The fourth suspect was brought to court directly from hospital and sat silently in the dock with his eyes closed throughout the proceedings. Russian news agency TASS reported that the 19-year-old was filming the terror attack. All men will be held in pre-trial custody until May 22nd. 11 people allegedly involved in the attack have been arrested. Russia's president said in an address Saturday that Ukraine prepared a window for the attackers to cross the border, which it denies. March 24th was declared a national mourning day.
Zambia under-15 assistant coach Owen KAPOSA has expressed optimism that the boys will perform better in the second friendly against Morocco. Today, Zambia under-15 draw 3-0 with their Morocco counterparts after giving the lead in extra time, allowing 2 goals. KAPOSA, however, says the team has been working on the mental strength as well as eliminating threats from the Moroccans, who usually emanate from the flanks. And team defender Michael Bonda says the team has learned from the mistakes committed in the first game and looks forward to a good performance on Tuesday. The Zambia under-15 is out in Morocco for 2 friendly matches with the host nation.
Kweno kulingana nofutwatele bola itwafumene mukutea at least amacoaches nabatsambilisha efintu fingi efutatwale chitamulira game. So and I think igame oyotwala kwa Dr. Mairo, I think twachita wino okuchirafira twatele game. Afo tubombele po wano as a defender ifwe tatwali good ku long balls. And then amacoaches nababombera pali ya issue yakobati ngabale mu long balls mufire babombera pali finefi. And I think muri next game mfiyatafaka chitike pona foot.
Well, I think from the first game we played Morocco, the boys really performed very well, despite the result. Okay, unfortunately we had to concede late goals in stoppage time, of which we learned a lesson. I think the most important thing that we've been working on is to psych the players, how important it is to concentrate until the end. And then from the first game, you see, we were playing a side which we had no idea about. But after the game, at least we picked up 1 or 2 lessons, of which we are trying by all means to rectify. From the first game, what we learned from the Moroccan side is that
his fellow UPND members of attacking him. In international news, Malawi declares state of disaster over drought brought by El Niño. And in sports news, under-15 assistant coach KAPOSA upbeat ahead of Morocco return friendly. Our verse of the day is coming from the book of Proverbs 15, verse 17. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fattened ox and hatred with it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Do enjoy the rest of our programming. Good night.